Hello. It's been a while.
Have it? Yes. Listen.
Actually,
A whole 7 days without HerTake. But welcome back, everyone.
I've been like 14. No.
Do we not have
Wait, I
HerTake
lied.
last weekend? No, last weekend wasn't the
We
Super
didn't-
Bowl, right?
Yes, last
Yes, it
weekend.
was.
So it's been 14 days.
Yeah.
Wow. Would you look at that? But we're back now. For those of you guys who don't know, my name is Chelsea Robinson.
My name is Brielle Lowry, and we're joined with our wonderful guest.
Hi, I'm Anya.
Anya was actually here on our last show on the Sportsathon
So
one.
true.
So we're low key.
We're running it back.
We're running it back.
Maybe you should be here every time. Since
Yeah, well, unfortunately, to talk to North by Northwestern because their editors have been holding me there from 7 to 9 p.m. every Sunday and Wednesday night.
Listen, you do what you have to do for those exec positions.
Yeah.
So I can't even be upset.
But I think our paths might align in the future.
Yeah.
So perhaps
There you go.
we'll see. We'll see what the stars have
so
to say
lucky
about
that
this.
stars. We're lucky we caught you this week then.
Yep.
I'm so happy to be here.
100%. So let's go ahead and get started with our first little game that we kind of previewed / soft launched in Sportsathon, but just had such a good ring to it. Get it? Yes, there we go. I want to make sure people actually got the pun that came up to me just now. But yes, so HerTake Hotline, basically, we're all gonna say a hot take. We give a little bit of explanation, and that's it. We see if it's agreeable or not. Who wants to start?
I can start.
Amazing.
Okay, my hot take is, or I actually don't know if it's like a crazy hot take or not, but okay. Social media did more for women's sports than the network ever did. I think that social media, and this social media as a broad
Okay.
so not just TikTok, not just Instagram, not just Twitter, or X, I guess. Like all of them kind of combined, you know. I think that we're at a point where social media is such a big thing in sports, and I feel like especially, I don't know, to me I feel like I get a lot of women's motivational edits on TikTok. I get a lot of women's sports news on Instagram. I just feel like we see more of a push in social media for like equality between the sports than through the network. And I feel like maybe it might be hard for the network to like kind of push for that, like in terms of like coming out right and saying like, yeah, they should be represented the same. But also the network has options to show that they are doing that. I don't know. So
I think that's actually a pretty good hot take. I think like for me, the instant thought that came to my head was like I think social media is like really like eclipse a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so it's like it can be like really good things, but it could also be like really bad things.
Right.
And it's like of course in men's sports you're gonna have people like completely miss the ball when they go to shoot in a soccer game or like fail to dunk in a basketball game and just have a really bad game. But like
shout out to the dunk contest where the guy got blocked by the side rim and then got like CTE.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
Shout out
Kind
to
of
that is
funny, though.
insane.
But the point to that is like you don't know like what's gonna happen when you get clipped, and so I think a lot of times some bad clips blow up. So, but I
Yeah.
think that the good clips that blow up help people understand it more. And I remember like my dad used to tell me how like women's tennis became so like I guess revered as like it was like the champion of broadcast TV because they moved it such that men's and women's tennis would be playing on opposite days of the week so that they could each get equal amounts of viewership no matter what. And so that's how women's tennis kind of became such a big thing.
Yeah.
But I just don't think any TV giant wants to make that step, which sucks. But I agree. I think that social media in that sense can do great things.
Yeah.
So I think it's a fair hot take.
I agree. I feel like sometimes I get scared to like mess around with absolutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like I've heard a lot about like highlight culture, like the clips kind of thing. I feel like the kind of issue that keeps a lot of people from getting into women's sports is that if they're picking between watching men's sports or women's sports, like on any sort of TV, whatever, cable network, etc., men's sports is just kind of turned into the default or is the default, has been the default.
Right.
And I feel like social media is so good at feeding you things that you are suggested, like not always things that you already like, but like kind of expanding your palette in a way. So I feel like in terms of exposure, social media is so good at just like, yeah, like you will just watch randomly like in your 5 clips of, like, men's basketball, that one women's basketball clip, and you're like, "Oh, that was a good play." And
Mhm.
then maybe that leads into something more, a like leads into more of it on your feed, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So in
think it's a
terms of
valid take.
exposure, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Um, my hot take's not like a hot
Wait,
take,
it's okay. Even if
but
it's
it's
not,
just
I
it's
didn't think mine
conversation.
was.
but it's
Yeah,
just like it's something
conversation.
I need to get off my chest, which I think was
There you go.
implied in
Yes.
There
the
you go.
hotline. I need to call someone about this and talk
Yeah.
to them about it because
We're picking it up.
really sad about the state of Northwestern women's basketball.
Mhm.
It's just I covered the Michigan game on Thursday
Oh.
night
Okay.
and they were up by 6 at half and then I think they lost by like 20 plus points at the end of it.
Yeah.
They did.
And I just like I was sitting there and I was like I've never felt so dejected in my life about a team. Like it felt really sad. And then the
Yeah.
post game presser, no one had anything to say.
Really? In the media room?
Like
Really?
it was just
Like reporters or like
like on
Joe?
both sides. Like I think
Okay.
I think it was just like it wasn't the answers were deflated, but their demeanor walking into the room just was like it looked like they were just like a balloon out of air. And I
Yeah.
felt really
I get
sad. And I just feel like this team, for all it has with so many good seniors and Grace Sullivan and Caroline Lau, like
Mhm.
and they're national performers, but they just can't pull it together as a team. And it really disappoints me because I just like I think like what if, you know?
Yeah.
Like what if Grace Sullivan and Caroline Lau had like a supporting cast of like amazing people and there are really good individual performers that just don't show up consistently. So that's my grievance.
I hate to, like, sphere this into, like, including men, but, like, in terms of, like, the
Yeah.
Michigan,
Well,
like, doubleheader, like,
bro,
whatever.
I felt like I was watching because I went to the men's basketball Michigan game
Yes.
and then I worked the women's basketball Michigan
Yes.
game as
And
like
it felt like you
cameraman.
were, like,
Felt the same thing. I was like, are we writing
yeah.
scripts here?
Yeah. It's difficult because it would be okay to me if we did bad in the first half and then did bad in the second half, because then it's like, okay, like, we're a bad team.
Right.
But I think for us to be so competitive in the first half,
Yeah.
men's and women's,
Yeah.
like, to be up for so long, and then, like, you go into halftime and you're just like, "This is it, like, I know we're gonna lose the plot." And every single time we do, like, that's my problem.
Yeah.
If we just sucked, okay,
Right.
but we're competitive, and then we suck. So it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's worse.
they like give you hope and then just take
Strip it away.
And it does suck because I hear all of these stories about how Northwestern women's basketball used to be so good,
Right.
you know, and like, and I mean McEwen, good old Joe, he used to like he was a great coach like for many years, and even here at Northwestern, and it's just sad to see kind of, and also it's his retirement like victory lap year, so then it's
Yeah.
also sad to see like the one year where you would probably want to even do like your best and go out with a bang,
Yeah.
like it's low-key going out with a bang in the other way. Like it's just it's like wow. And again with Grace and Lau, I switch between first and last names so much. With
Yeah.
Sullivan and Lau, it seems it I don't want to say their talent is being wasted because I fully do believe, like you were saying, Anya, like there's players on this team that back them up. It's
Yeah.
just like they kind of like it's just any given game.
It's
Like
it's
I feel like
gimme,
Zamaya Walton, she's like really great,
Yeah.
especially like those first couple games like
Right.
here at home. She was
Flying,
fiery.
yeah.
Like it was great. And all of a sudden now it just seems like even Sullivan kind of.
No,
Yes.
Sullivan's
It's
been
been
making
in
a
a
little bit of her
downtrend.
steam.
And you know, I don't blame any of these girls. I know obviously they're trying their best. Like, and obviously
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they're student athletes. Maybe they're focusing more on their classes. Like, you know, like you never really know
Right.
what's going on. But it is very unfortunate to see.
Yeah.
And
100%.
and my heart grieves for them.
Yeah, seriously.
I feel like it's always really difficult watching, especially, like, seniors.
Yeah.
It's like, I guys, I'm gonna stop talking about men. I'm talking about the men's basketball team just because I was watching this morning when I did my nails. But anyway, like,
Wait, show off your nails. They're very
thank you. The same thing that I think about, like, Grace Sullivan is what I think about, like, Nick Martinelli. I'm
Right.
just like,
yeah.
these are
And
good
they're both
players.
compared a lot
They are.
anyways.
They low-key look like siblings to me.
Really?
Yeah, like, I was watching, like
Wait.
these, like,
Long
press
lost
thing.
siblings.
Like, long-lost siblings, like,
Okay.
low-key siblings are
I don't see it, but you
Did
know
you
what?
see
To each their own.
okay, come on. Okay, but yeah, but
Yeah, I don't think I see it.
anyway. Should I give my hot take or should we move on?
I want to hear your hot take.
Okay,
We can make it
I'll
quick.
quickly run through it. Basically, my hot take was that women's March Madness is more watchable than men's. I think my issue with men's March Madness is that for me personally, I find it difficult to tune in for certain players just because I feel like in men's basketball specifically, there's so much reloading of teams, like the players move around so much. There's so much transfer portal
Mm.
culture. I feel like in women's basketball, there's so much more emotional attachment to actual teams because the players have emotional attachment to teams and there's just more continuity between each season. That's kind of my thing. I feel like rivalries carry over, like players carry over. So because of that, I'm tuning in each and every year to see my team because my team are my players. When in terms of men's basketball, I could love this team because he has this guy on it, and in a year he's gone. And it's just do I hate you or do I hate the team?
You know what? I never even thought about how I barely hear anything on transfer portal for women's sports in general. Like
Yeah.
across all of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like the
yeah.
last time I think of the transfer portal, the only thing I can think of is Nija for Texas
Mm,
Tech
Right.
when she came, went from Stanford to Texas Tech,
yeah.
became the first $1 million softball
Hey.
and the second because she is again
Right.
a 1 million
Period.
paid athlete. But anyways, yeah, I feel like I totally agree with your point,
Yeah.
low key, because it's so much easier to form an attachment to a team and its rivalries when
Mhm.
you can hone in on a player and watch them through their 4 years and then
Yes.
also like the other players and then continue watching them. And I feel like, yeah, with
There's
men's
just not that.
basketball, it's just transfer. And especially too bringing that into like football and stuff. I know
Yeah.
there's not really a women's equivalent to football at the moment besides flag football that's coming in, but
Period.
yeah, I
I like
agree.
that. I think it's interesting you brought up Nigel Kennedy because I feel like the portal experiences I know of and I'm familiar with basketball and soccer are only I'm thinking like for basketball primarily like Lauren Betts who left Stanford to go to UCLA because of like her own mental health struggles which she
Mhm.
opened up about like after she transferred so that was the first time like I really understood like kind of the culture behind that and then also like for soccer I think it's most transfer moves are people that are on really excellent teams but aren't getting enough playing time and just leave to
Mhm.
go to a smaller team, a smaller school. It's
Yeah.
never like moving up.
For money
It's
or
never yeah,
like
it's never
more
like that,
fame.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's never like the great player at the tiny little school is going to the big school to become a big name, you know?
Mhm.
And I feel like when you get like a Cinderella story out of the Sweet 16,
Yes.
like that player is going to be going
Oh,
to
like
the
that
big
one
team.
guy last or a couple years ago in March Madness who wanted to be like an accountant and he was just hitting like
Yeah.
threes. I forget that guy's name, but like yeah. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I was
There's very
reminded.
few of those left, I feel like, in the
Yeah.
men's world, but there's a lot in the women's world, and I feel like it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's easier to care about a player when they care about their team and
Yes.
don't
exactly.
just up and down.
Which kind of goes back to I'll make this quick. Which kind of goes back to I feel like we were talking about this during the sportsathon segment of like just D3 players and
Yeah,
D2 players and how
Yeah.
there's like more heart in the game because
Yeah.
like you could
Were we
tell.
talking about that with you? You
yeah,
have a friend
Yeah.
that is talking about
yeah,
trans.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know if that was you or Sylvia.
No, that well, I think it's both of ours
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a touchy topic.
It is. We should
Anyway,
do a whole show about that.
we
Low-key.
should just transfer portal. I think at the end of her
Shenanigans.
take, we can just start doing whatever we want. Like we're getting to the end of our tenure. I say we just start. Yeah, themed
I don't think Adam
episodes.
and Ethan are watching.
They definitely aren't. Okay, moving on to our next segment,
Yeah.
sort of all about women's soccer. To start off, let's kind of touch on Trinity Rodman's recent $2 million deal to stay in the National Women's Soccer League, to stay in the US and continue playing for Washington. So
Go,
this
go.
deal is over 2 million a year, keeping her in the league and giving her the highest paid women's soccer salary in the world. So first off, just kind of the broader significance of this actual move. Obviously, so many US women's players, I feel like have sort of started treating the US league as a segue into
Mhm.
overseas play. But I think for someone like Trinity to make the move to stay here in the place where is kind of she started there, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So just significance of that. Thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I I still hold this belief that even though Trinity is getting paid right now, I don't think that this rule is going to completely stop her from moving as soon as her contract expires.
Mhm.
I just think that, like, with my experience watching these American players make moves abroad, and it's gotten, like you said, Chelsea, it's gotten bigger, like the pool of players that are willing to go abroad. And I think now with Emma Hayes as the coach, who's obviously English, who coached at Chelsea for a really, really, really long time, you have players now feeling more comfortable,
Mhm.
like they can go abroad without being penalized for it because Emma understands kind of the broader landscape of European soccer. I don't think that Rodman will stay in the United States for much longer after she gets paid, just because I think that she knows that to grow her game, she needs to not be the star on the team. And I think that there are many clubs in Europe that can offer her that opportunity because right now if you think about Rodman, her skill set is that she's quick, she's lethal on the attack and transition, but I think that you need to be more of a player than that.
Yeah.
And there have been some games where I've watched the Spirit just completely fall through because they just rely on that one or two weapons in
Mm.
Trinity Rodman and then maybe like Croy Bethune or something like that. And they're just like it's not it's not there because they're working on the one thing, but they need something else. And I think Rodman knows that she needs to go somewhere else to get that. So I don't know. I think it's good for the NWSL to just say like, look, we retained the star. It's good for marketing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Trinity's gonna stay. That's my personal take.
That's a good take. That's a
Yeah, low
really good
key,
take.
Chelsea and I have talked about this. Anya, you know soccer way better than from an outside perspective. I feel like Rodman too. It is good in the moment for her to like have her stay here, but I do feel like too it is kind of like I don't blame every like a lot of the big stars or even just people like starting like using the US team as a stepping stone because I mean like I feel like in the Olympics like our national team is pretty good, but like other
Yeah.
like there's so many other like overseas I feel like is a better more competitive area
Mhm.
where you can really like learn from the best
Right.
and then become the best through
Yeah.
that. So honestly, I mean like I'm just for these women getting paid and having
Right.
fun.
No, I
So
agree.
like I honestly and also I don't really follow soccer, so maybe
Yeah.
I'm just don't
No,
have
I
like a
think
polarizing like oh I wish like more of these players would
mhm,
stay. But like, you know, I kind of just like have that like go with the flow. Like I don't really care. Like I want these girls to get paid.
paid.
And I
Yeah.
feel like if you like a player enough, you'll watch them like move on. So like,
Yeah.
hey, if she goes to like um I'm assuming Brazil probably has like a you know,
Yeah, I
good
mean
team.
they have pretty
Like if
good
she
teams,
went
but
there, like I'd
she
watch
would
their
go she would
broadcast or
definitely
something.
go to England, I would think,
Okay,
more
yeah.
than
I
anything
mean like
else.
I don't know.
She
Yeah.
went
I'm
to
just like
Chelsea first, let's say.
I'm just spitting out like the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
soccer
yeah.
team that comes to mind. I had to write a paper on Brazilian soccer
Oh,
development,
period.
so
For what
for men's
class?
soccer, sports and society, very fun class with shout out Craig LeMay. He's great.
Ooh.
But yeah, so that's why it was the first one that came to mind. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like it's an I also don't know a lot about women's soccer. Um, I feel like it's kind of interesting, like, I feel like it's kind of between, like, an athlete and their agent. Like, if Trinity stays on Washington, you said, like, she has, like, one, like, player that's, like they, like, depend on her skill set and,
Yeah,
like, another.
they do
I'm
depend on her a
guessing
lot.
she's giving, like, head of, like, team, like, star player, like,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah,
whatever.
I would say she is the face of the
Yeah.
team.
Hmm.
If she was to go play for Chelsea, for example,
Yeah.
there's already so many big names there. Would she want to be like another name? Like she would never
Mhm.
be another name on the roster. But what I'm saying is
Right.
Yeah.
like sometimes I don't really know if athletes want to go for like
Right.
that star or if they literally want
No, yeah,
development.
and I think that's a reasonable point, and I think that sometimes athletes make that jump and they're more optimistic about their
Yeah.
role on that team than they actually are, and I think we're seeing that right now. Like, there's this player called Katarina Macario who plays for Chelsea, actually. Chelsea has a really strong American contingent right now, but Katarina's not getting enough playing time
Yeah.
or is just not feeling settled in the team enough, and she's actually exploring moves back to the NWSL, and so she's probably leaving sometime this month.
Yeah.
Jenna Niswanger is another example, just throwing out names here. She came from championship, NWSL championship winning team Gotham FC, and she went to Arsenal, and Arsenal did not play her a single minute.
Like
And now she's
that's like
lost her spot on the national team.
wow.
And so it's like you don't know. When you're switch leagues, that's the whole point. You don't know what you're gonna do.
Right.
Yeah.
Because not all teams need the speedy speedster that's gonna like just run through players.
Yeah.
Because that's not what some leagues require.
I feel like wouldn't that be a point brought up with the coaches though, like
Yeah.
before you transfer, like, hey, like,
Do you
do
need
you
me?
need me? Like, are you
Yeah.
gonna play me?
Well, it's like
Or is that not how it works?
I mean, like, I don't know. If you think about it, like coaches are like, well, you could be really good. Like, I don't know. I think
I feel like ambiguous language is definitely a thing
yeah.
with coaches, so I could see
And
that.
like especially with a player like Rodman, you're like, that's pretty good marketing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because people like I would say a lot of people know who Rodman is. Like
Isn't
she's
she's
one of
the
the
one that did the drinking tea celly,
no, that's
right?
Alex Morgan.
Dang it.
I fear
I
Brielle.
know someone.
She does a lot. She's like a lot of good sellies though in general, and she does like she's really nice like game day like
Yeah.
braids and things like
Yeah,
that.
more for
It's a big
new
thing. It's a big thing for like kids to get their like hair braided
color.
pink.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
they
yeah.
do like little like days like that. The spirit is really
Yeah.
cute.
I've seen that before.
Everyone in Washington loves her. Like
Yeah.
it's so adorable.
So
But
then I'd hate to see
her
any.
leave.
Yeah, but well, I think this contract that she has is for through 2028.
Yeah. So low key, 2 years is a pretty long time, but it
It's
goes quicker than you think.
yeah.
Oh, sounds like
So
our graduation.
yes.
I knew it was gonna be something like that. And I knew it, and I was really hoping you weren't, but you did. Okay,
Sorry,
let's.
we connect there.
Yeah, I think we can skip to yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk a little bit about women's basketball because they are also a couple of big things in the works. I feel like we never talk about women's basketball without talking about this collective bargaining
Oh my
agreement.
god.
Going on for like
Uh,
6 weeks.
yeah,
6 weeks. More like 6 months.
Yeah.
and it's been unfortunate. But I I have learned that Friday sources told ESPN that the league submitted a new CBA proposal and that was more than 6 weeks after the WNBA's most recent counteroffer. Reportedly, the proposal features updated housing provisions, which grants both minimum salary and rookie players one-bedroom apartments, while developmental players get studios for the first 3 years of the WNBA. Well, thoughts on this, I guess. Like, do you think this is something that the W is like would accept? I don't know. Like,
Because the thing is, though, with these collective bargaining agreements,
yeah,
it's just like you never know what the players need or want
Yeah.
because like you're not them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I remember when there was a CBA, I think 2 years ago. I want to say when I was still in high school, maybe a sophomore, junior in high school, so maybe 2 or 3 years ago. They were talking about chartered planes. And I
Mm.
just remember thinking to myself, what do they need chartered planes for? But then I was like, I know the NBA gets them, but I was like, I don't understand. But then I realized, like you're playing back to back games across the country. Like
Yeah.
I was comparing it from an NWSL point of view where it's like you have a game every week. So it's like you
Yeah.
just go fly first class, business class, in the regular commercial planes. But
Yeah.
like these people are jet setting from LA to New York and they're expected to play with like 16-hour turnaround.
Yeah.
So that thing I was like, okay, maybe I understand now. Again, maybe there's like some random thing with the housing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just praying that they get it together.
I'd say the housing thing is more on. I think I remember this where like Angel Reese, I think, opened up about how she couldn't even afford her apartment where she was living like on the WNBA salary. So I think maybe like I kind of connected it to that. Like maybe that like even if the salary wasn't gonna go up tremendously, like at
Mm,
least they have housing so then they could save up or
Yeah.
like still. And I mean like free housing in general is also like a great thing. But I was thinking like maybe it's coming from that perspective of like
mm,
because I think she opened up about that like maybe like a year or two ago.
mm.
Well, probably a year ago. But and it was like obviously she's not living in like a
Yeah.
100
Yeah.
square
Yeah.
foot
Yeah.
apartment.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right,
spacious, it's nice, but like still
right.
you would think like a professional player would be able to afford that
No,
off
yeah,
an apartment
100%.
Yeah.
at that off of a salary that they're making,
Yeah.
especially a popular player.
I feel like the fact that housing is something that needs to be like bargained is already like a statement on how
Yeah.
like far back
Right.
like negotiations are. Like why is it a big deal that it took 6 weeks for a proposal about let's give rookies a place to live?
No, yeah. It's just disheartening.
It is. It
Mhm.
is.
And it's like I don't know, because I think obviously, like, the stipulations of the CBA are trying to make these players' lives better, but if they're not sorted out, like, not only are the players gonna suffer because of the contents of the, like, contract not being put in place, but
Yeah.
also because literally, quite speaking, this is like, I remember talking to my best friend about this in September.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is now
I remember
February.
talking about it on HerTake in
It
September.
is
Yeah.
February.
Yeah.
The league starts in May.
Yeah.
Preseason starts in April. The draft starts in April. Like,
Yeah.
this is going to impact it if they don't figure it
Yeah.
out soon.
And the fact that this is the progress that's been made, we're
It's
now on the
so
and I also feel like what was the initial it was about salaries, and this is
Yes.
Yeah.
granting what minimum salaries, and now we're talking about housing.
Yeah.
I just feel like after what September, October, November, December, January, February, March, it's been 4 or 5 months of let's give them a minimum salary and a one-bedroom apartment.
great.
That's what you guys have
Big
come up
wins.
with. Like,
Guys, what's going on?
Yeah.
It makes me upset, it makes me mad, it makes me nervous more than anything because I
Yeah.
do think that this season is
Yeah.
super critical for the W because you have Paige Becker's like
Mhm.
really like making a name for herself in the W last season, and she has every like the Dallas Wings are terrible, but like
Yeah.
she has every chance to like continue that run. And I think March Madness this year is gonna be so good
Yeah.
for women's college basketball, and I just like the momentum going into the draft from that is gonna be insane.
And the expansion team draft,
Yeah,
right?
Mm,
it's just like I think like it has the potential to be excellent,
yeah.
and it's not.
And it's disheartening that it's because of a fair equal pay
Yeah.
dispute
You
that's
in the
Yeah.
great
why this is happening.
2026.
Like kinda it's the
This
big 20.
this is the highest level of women's basketball. This isn't like okay, like NCAA,
Yeah,
like some sort of like little
NIL.
yeah, like this is like
No,
a
this is big girl salaries, big girl game.
This is
Okay.
the WNBA. Doesn't
Yeah,
get much better than this. Actually.
exactly. It's just like I think that it's just gotten to the point where it's like you need to raise the standards higher for
Yeah.
everyone involved. These women are professionals. You need to act like it too. So,
Wow.
What a note to end on because it is 8, unfortunately.
unfortunately,
Unforge.
But I think this was a really great chat with the three of us.
Yeah.
And I'm very
so intimate.
So intimate. So I'm here with you.
wow. We're just like
Wait, yeah, that's from my theater class. We do this thing where we close our eyes and we like open them and look at each other and go, "I'm here with you."
what?
I'm here with yeah.
That sounds
Sorry.
kinda scary.
It's really intimate. I love
Wait, can
it.
we do that?
I'm here with you.
I'm here with you.
It's good.
We're
But
all here,
anyway,
guys.
Yeah.
so that's her take for this week. I hope everyone enjoyed listening. I hope everyone loved our slamming of the WNBA. We love doing it.
We do
Um,
at this point. I think it should be its own segment, maybe.
What has the WNBA done to piss off women this week?
Truth. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Anya, for being our guest. And we will not be taking a break. We will be back next week, which is amazing. Keep watching and listening for Sports Voice, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.